What's up, guys? James Palms here. What is the top 5 palm trees for Florida? I'm gonna say this is basically for all of Florida, barring maybe the Keys and a few places, but you have to judge your own climate, because obviously there's a lot of different zones within Florida. So not exactly for every area, but I'm just giving my, general thoughts on 5 best palm trees to grow in Central Florida, the ones from my experience that do the best. That's mostly what I'm basing this on, from my experience, what palms do the best. So, well, let's start off with... So here's the first palm tree, guys. I'll start this off. Sorry it's at night, taking this kind of at different times. So some of them are gonna be during the day, some of them will be at night, but first palm tree, you guessed it, you know it, you love it. It's your standard queen palm, Cyagrus romanzoviana, one of my favorite. Beautiful, relatively fast growing, very common, super cheap, a little bit weedy, definitely produces some things, definitely produces a lot of volunteers and drops a lot of seed, but it's very easy to cut them away and get rid of them. It's beautiful, it's pennate, it's plumose, it's kind of the way that the fronds, the way that the leaflets come off of the rachis, they all go in every direction, takes up relatively a normal amount of space. I think it's perfect palm tree. A lot of people think of it, kind of looks like a coconut palm. Most people think of a palm like this where it has beautiful, graceful sway to it. The only reason why it's not higher on my list for this particular reason is because they can look very trashy, especially in Florida. You'll see tons of them. It's super common and it is perfect for Florida because you'll see it everywhere here. So I definitely agree that it's a great palm for Florida, but the Florida soils, again, they lack magnesium and potassium, which these palms are very hungry on. So make sure you fertilize them lots. This one is fertilized. It's quite dark green. Looks beautiful, and it's got tons of fronds on it, so they'll definitely be happy if you fertilize them. It's a great palm for Florida, definitely cold hardy. Pretty much this is good for almost all of Florida. I have even seen these growing in northern or in southern Georgia, so definitely think they're pretty much good for almost everywhere. They might get damaged a time or two, but I doubt it. This is definitely good into the mid-20s. It's more cold hardy than the books and stuff put it on it. I think most books say no colder than 28 degrees or 31 or 30 degrees or something like that. But it's definitely more cold hardy from my experience. I believe you can take -6, -7 Celsius, no problem, without showing too much damage. Might show a little bit of damage, but definitely can take a lot. They keep growing. From my experience, they've been relatively slow to moderate, but they're definitely not the slowest growing palm or not the fastest, especially in Florida. Most of the state you'll be pretty good. Again, I'm going to say south of the 4 is going to be the optimal for this, but North Florida, you're fine planting this as well, and it'll do perfect. I would recommend you buy one with the proper amount of trunk, and just make sure you keep fertilizing it to keep the trunk the same size all the way up as you can see it is here. They have a beautiful, smooth, gray trunk, single palm, just beautiful. So that's why it's my first one on the list here, but number 5, because some of the reasons that make it common, and that's part of the reason common, and because of the sort of the fertilizer requirements, and in my opinion, there's just ones that are better from my personal opinion. So it's a great palm, might be your favorite, but anyways, try it out, the queen palm. So here it is, guys. Number 4 is going to be the most beautiful, well, not the, in my opinion, one of the most beautiful of all the lists. I think I'd say the most beautiful of the list, but everybody's different, is the Foxtail palm, Woodietia bifurcata. So yeah, this is definitely going to be, I'd put this at number 4, just because of the fact that it does require quite a lot of fertilizer to stay looking beautiful and dark green like this, and to keep a nice fat trunk the whole way. You can see some of these ones here. See this one? Might be better if I get these guys from this angle. So, and you can see a bit of yellowing out on the lower fronds, which is fine. And this one's really pretty dark green, really thick trunk. It's a really fat trunk all the way up. beautiful crown shafted. The only reason why it's not higher on the list is because it's not super cold hardy. There's more there actually. It's not super cold hardy. Basically in the 30s you're going to start to see damage, and into the 20s you're going to probably see death depending on the freeze and duration and stuff. Don't have a ton of experience with growing them from in cold climates. Of course I live in a cold climate, but you know what I mean, especially large ones, so can't really tell you exactly what they take, but nevertheless beautiful, but just not as cold hardy and very our Florida soils lack magnesium and potassium, and these palms are very hungry for them. So to keep them dark green and healthy, you have to use that. What else can I say? They have a really beautiful, super smooth gray trunk that looks like concrete, kind of beautiful green crown shaft, beautiful plumose pennate frond type. So the other ones, most of the other ones in this list are not pennate. So actually, well, I guess 3 of them are and 2 of them aren't. So I guess they are, but nevertheless, anyways, beautiful, perfect pennate. I mean, this is what you think of when you think of a palm. Some people think they look like a royal. I mean, some people mistake them for royals. To me, they look pretty different. But yeah, they are beautiful. That's why it's on my list here. It's gorgeous. Most of Florida, though, I mean, definitely anywhere south of Florida 4 you can plant them. In the northern areas, it might be sort of a trial and experience. They are a little more cold hardy sometimes than people give them credit for, but you know, beware if you're in North Florida. So obviously if you're in the coastal areas, you're going to do a bit better. Depending on the panhandle, whereabouts you are. Some of the Treasure Coast, you'll definitely be able to get away with them though, for sure. So that's why it's there at number 4. So Woodietia bifurcata, Foxtail palm, perfect palm. I love it. Well, sorry it's at night, guys, but here's number 3. So number 3, and the reason why I made it number 3 is just simply because of the ease of growth. This is good all the way up for sure to Jacksonville, very frost hardy, and it's good as far down south as you can go, and I never see any of them really lacking anything, lacking any fertilizer, any deficiencies. I never see any of them really doing poorly. So it is, of course, as you can tell, the pygmy date palm, Phoenix robelinii. It's a, what else to say? It's a phoenix palm. So of the genus, it's they hybridize pretty easily, so you might get a little bit different with each one. But usually they're about this size. You typically see them about 6 to maximum about 10 feet tall. I think they can get up to about 12 to 14 feet. Relatively slow growing, but they're a dwarf palm, so they call it the pygmy date, so it's a dwarf palm. And yeah, they're super great. One of my favorites. I don't recommend growing them from seed, really. As you can see here, there is tons of seed here that is ready and ripe. I have grown them from seed. I could pick some of these. I honestly don't even feel like taking them home, because 2 years later and they're like 3-4 blades of grass, so they are very slow growing, but they are quite beautiful. They're very tropical looking. They're definitely one of the most tender of the Phoenix species, but they are still frost hardy. Anyways, yeah, I don't know what else I can say about them, but pygmy date palm, I'm putting it at my number 3 because of the size, and it's just used everywhere here. I just think it's sort of a staple definitely a staple in the Florida landscape. Not I think, I know. So perfect palm tree to put out front of your house. Most people don't have a ton of room. They're not going to get too big. They're not going to get, you know what I mean? They're not going to grow crazy. They're easy to prune. They are pretty weedy too. Like a lot of those, they will all germinate if you let all those seeds drop. But the best part about this palm is you can prune it yourself almost always for almost the entire life of the palm, pretty much for as long as you're alive. And super easy to come in here and cut out the flower stalks if you don't want them. You just watch, because there is needles, like the lower fronds, the lower terminal leaflets are always, or not terminal, the ones right near the base of the petioles are always going to be little spikes on pretty much every, I think every Phoenix palm. So anyways, that's why it is. If you want more information about this, maybe I can do a palm review on it. But Phoenix robelinii, number 3. Again, guys, sorry it is nighttime. Here it is, you guessed it. This would be my number 1 choice living in Florida because of its size and beauty. but it's not for everyone. It's not native, and it takes up a ton of room. But definitely spectacular, beautiful. You know it, you love it. It's the Bismarck palm, just the standard Bismarckia nobilis, white, the variety. There is a green variety. The color on it is spectacular. The frond size is massive. Just getting a scale, you cannot really get a scale of this palm until you see them in person, a full mature Bismarck. And it depends on the size of them, but like you can put your finger on one, or your giant, like I have large hands, on one of the leaflets and pan up and realize that from tip here to the tip there is 6 feet easily for just the leaf, and then you got another 4 or 5 feet for petiole, at least. Some of them maybe closer to 6 feet, 5 feet of petiole, 6 feet of petiole. The petiole is the part that connects the leaf, like the large leaf, to the trunk. And those are the old leaf bases. Even those are massive. They're white as snow. Like this one has a beautiful color. I thought I'd choose this one because this is actually relatively small. It doesn't have that much trunk. The trunk is very fat, like they could probably be almost 3 feet. Super beefy trunks, just absolutely beautiful. They are frost hardy. They're not the most frost hardy. I mean, in northern Florida, you can definitely plant them, but you have to watch, and they can be a little bit slower growing from my experience. For most parts of Florida, you'll be pretty good. Definitely anywhere south of the 4, you will definitely be good. But in the northern parts, be careful. But they're definitely frost hard. You can definitely take a frost, I would say, easily into like probably 28 without showing too much damage. Anything after 28, I would say they're going to start taking damage. From my experience, though, 30 to 32 is the most I would want them to see. I'm sure these guys have seen 20 in the high 20s, but anything under that, they're definitely going to start showing damage. So, but they're beautiful palms, just absolutely spectacular. And they're native to Madagascar, and they are, depending on the climate, they're supposed to be moderate growing. From my experience, like I said, a little bit slower. They definitely like to hold the fronds all together, and they don't like to open them when the spear comes out. Like to really open them when they're good and ready. But when they do open, they are spectacular and beautiful. Just the reason why this one isn't number one is because it's not native, and it just takes up so much space. They're not that weedy from my experience. I haven't seen them producing tons of volunteers, so that's a plus. There's lots of pluses with it. It's beautiful. The plus is they're readily available. The plus is they're fun to grow. They're breathtaking. The only con on this palm is the size. If it's a con for you, is that it is absolutely massive, and it takes up an extremely large area. It's one of the most biggest, like probably the most large area filling up of any of the common palms. So, and of course this is only for common palms, so that's why it gives it number 2, the best one. And last but not least, coming up is number 1. Well, last but not least, of course, here it is, the king, the big dog daddy, the state palm tree of Florida and South Carolina, Sabal palmetto. Let's try. There it is. So the Sabal palmetto is without a doubt the best palm tree to plant in Florida, whether you're in North Florida, Central Florida, South Florida, Southwest, Southeast, the Keys, anywhere. It's large, it's beautiful, it's a little slow growing. You can buy them, they're readily available. It's native, it's the most natural, the most native. It's the best, just simply the best palm, in my personal opinion, for bringing. So that's why it's number 1. It might not offer everything that you want in a palm tree, but it's beautiful, and it won't get crazy high. It's not going to get to be a skyscraper, at least probably not in your lifetime, especially if you buy one. The size I would recommend is buy it with about 10 feet of trunk maximum, and that'll do you. It won't be over 20 feet of trunk by the time you die, likely. So it'll be beautiful. And the only downfall, in my opinion, is that they are quite a bit weedy. So what I mean by that is, I'll show you. It's hardy. This is hardy all over Florida, from the most northern, most centrist part of Florida all the way to the most southern part. So it's good everywhere, which is the most important thing, along with it being, of course, the best one in my opinion. But the hardiness and availability, but this is what you get. So everywhere it will drop seeds, and it drops thousands, and they will all sprout. Maybe not all of them, but like 90% of them will sprout. So it's a super weedy palm. So if you're not up on your pruning, you can prune those flowers out before they will produce seed, and it won't give you any problems. Most people don't though, kind of get a little tall. I don't mind it because I would just let them germinate and you know, hit the ones with a weed eater that I don't want, and maybe let a few grow at the base, or let a couple grow in garden beds wherever randomly, just because I love palm trees. But they are quite a bit weedy. Like, you won't find a palmetto without millions of babies around the bottom of them, basically. So that's one downfall. But other than that, the hardiness can't be beat, the availability can't be beat, the beauty is there, nativeness everywhere. This is without a doubt the best palm tree to plant anywhere in Florida. Sorry, not Central Florida, anywhere in Florida, because it's just going to do perfect wherever you put it. Basically, the nutritional values are super low. You never really see one struggling. They never see them yellowing. Never. All the other palms, some of the other ones I mentioned here, of course, they get yellow. Never will it ever get yellow. So perfect palm for Florida. That's why I say that. So thanks for watching, guys. If you like this video, it's a late August day here. It's the end of August actually now, and I'm in Central Florida right now, enjoying a nice cold drink. And yeah, it's perfect palm. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, please click the like and the subscribe button for more palm tree videos. If you do enjoy palm trees, and even if you don't, what the hell, it doesn't cost you anything, so just click the button. And thanks for watching, guys. Later.